Hello, class. It was the invisible teacher. It's now the visible teacher. I'm hoping this is loud enough. The microphone on on my video facility isn't working properly. I'm hoping you can hear this. I'm going to read out the passage from the Chimes that made me fear that the tripe that the gentleman was about to eat was in fact a baby. So you can see how Dickens may have had an ambiguous attitude towards meat eating. He may have actually disapproved of it. Either there are some sites that say he was a gastronomic, delighted in gastronomic meat eating, and other sites that suggest he may have had an attitude like vegetarian or vegan today. So I'll read this passage. I hope you can hear it properly. Yeah, okay, but I am having to be slightly quieter than usual. Right. Trotty kissed the lips belonging to the eyes and squeezed the blooming face between his hands. Why, pet, said Trotty, what's to do? I didn't expect you today, Meg. Neither did I expect to come, father, cried the girl, nodding her head and smiling as she spoke. But here I am, and not alone, not alone. Why, you don't mean to say, observed Trotty, looking curiously at a covered basket which she carried in her hand, that you— Smell it, father dear, said Meg. Only smell it. Trotty was going to lift up the cover at once, in a great hurry, when she gaily interposed her hand. No, 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 said Meg, with the glee of a child. Lengthen it out a little. Let me just lift up the corner, just the little tiny corner, you know, said Meg, suiting the action to the word with the utmost gentleness, and speaking very softly, as if she were afraid of being overheard by something inside the basket. There, now, what's that? Toby took the shortest possible sniff at the edge of the basket and cried out in no rapture, Why, it's hot. It's burning hot, cried Meg. Ha, 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 it's scalding hot. Ha, 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 roared Toby with a sort of kick. It's scalding hot. But what is it, father? Said Meg. Come, you haven't guessed what it is, and you must guess what it is. I can't think of taking it out till you guess what it is. Don't be in such a hurry. Wait a minute. A little more of the cover. Now guess. Meg was in a perfect fright lest he should guess right too soon, shrinking away as she held the basket towards him, curling up her pretty shoulders, stopping her ear with her hand, as if by doing so she could keep the right word out of Toby's lips, and laughing softly the whole time. Meanwhile Toby, putting a hand on each knee, bent down his nose to the basket and took a long inspiration at the lid, the grin upon his withered face expanding in the process as if he were inhaling laughing gas. Ah, it's very nice, said Toby. It ain't, I suppose it ain't Polonese? No, 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 cried Meg, delighted. Nothing like Polonese. No, said Toby after another sniff. It's mellower than Polonese. It's very nice. It improves every moment. It's too decided for trotters, ain't it? Meg was in an ecstasy. He could not have gone wider of the mark than trotters, except Polonese. Liver? Said Toby, communing with himself. No, there's a mildness about it that don't answer to liver. Petticoats? No, it ain't faint enough for pettitos. It wants the stringiness of cock's heads, and I know it ain't sausages. I tell you what is. It's chitterlings. No, it ain't, said Mac, in a burst of delight. No, it ain't. Why, what am I a-thinking of? Said Toby, suddenly recovering a position as near to the perpendicular as it was possible for him to assume. I shall forget my own name next. It's Tripe. Tripe it was, and Meg, in high joy, protested he should say, in half a minute more, it was the best tripe ever stewed. And so, said Meg, busying herself exultingly with the basket, I lay the cloth at once, father, for I have brought the tripe in a basin. Well, class, it wasn't a basin, was it? It was a basket. And tied the basin up in a handkerchief, and if like to be proud for once, and spread that for a cloth, and call it a cloth, there's no law to prevent me, is there, father? Not that I know of, my dear, said Toby, but they're always a-bringing up some new law or other. And according to what I was reading you in the paper the other day, father, what the judge said, you know, we poor people are supposed to know them all. Ha ha, what a mistake. My goodness me, how clever they think us. Yes, my dear, said Trotty, and they'd be very fond of any one of us that did know 'em all. He'd grow fat upon the work he'd get, that man, and be popular with the gentlefolks in his neighbourhood. Very much so. He'd eat his dinner with an appetite, whoever it was, if it smelt like this, said Meg, cheerfully. Make haste, for there's a hot potato beside, and half a pint of fresh-drawn beer in a bottle. Where will you dine, father? On the post, or on the steps? Dear, dear, how grand we are. 2 places to choose from. Okay, I'll leave it there, class. I'm hoping you will be able to hear this video. I'm hoping that you can see that my fear that it might turn out to be a horror story was one built into the story itself of the Chimes. Um, yes, we do worry that there is a play that it might be a baby or a child that they're eating, and indeed it may be that Dickens, as I said, was not a gastronomic exultant, but was himself very worried about the eating of some meats and meat generally. Okay,